Hi! So today I'm going to be showing you guys a makeup tutorial. I say tutorial in brackets because I don't think I'm at the skill level to actually give a tutorial. So I'm just going to show you how I do my makeup. So I always start with making sure my face is like all shaped because I'm lazy and don't like covering my eyebrows. And I am going to start the makeup process by putting in contacts. I always put them in first because I'm an actual disaster. And if I do not put them in first, then I will cry and mess up my makeup. So that's what I do. So I'm going to take these. I'm doing a different look today because I have a challenge that I'm in. So I'm going to take these really pretty green ones that I just got. I suggest if you're buying contacts to buy it from TD Dye because they're actually really good and they're cheaper than most. So I'm just gonna...
And the left eye. That always gives me a fucking hard time. That always gives me a really hard time. Now my contacts are in.
Well, I always start with... I do foundation first. Everybody does this differently. You don't have to do foundation first, but it's just what I do. So I put a little bit on my hand. And I take... My brushes are really dirty, so... Yep. So I just take a little bit and I put it on my face. Normally I have a beauty blender, but I think my dog ate it and I can't find it. Or she played with it and put it somewhere. That's more likely than her eating it.
I touch the contact. Just put it everywhere. This is why I'm not having to use this tool, ignoring that. Again, I'm not a makeup artist. Literally, just gonna...
So I use this, like, lasting finish stuff. Just because I find it matches my skin the most. If I don't get this stuff, I'll always be too dark or too light, so... Normally too dark because I'm a freaking snowman. So because I don't have my beauty blender, this shit comes on very like striky. So I'm just gonna rub it in because, which isn't, I prefer beauty blenders. Also just moved my contact again. So just to make it less streaky because I hate using this brush. Also it's a little dirty. So. Right. So from there I always start my eyes because I don't do contouring just because then if I do my eyes first and I mess up, I can always go over it again with the contouring. So I take this fluffy brush. I'm going to take this, if I'm using my NYX Ultimate, it's very dirty now because I'm a mess, shadow palette. It's actually my favorite palette. And I'm just going to dab it in the yellow here. Just kind of put it, this part doesn't have to be clean. I also just learned this, like, that doesn't have to be clean because I was so focused on it being clean not that long ago from Amber Alert, so thank you. So this part can be just like messy, like where you want your eyeshadow to be.
So basically I just probably my first time using this camera for something. Just take a yellow, and I want it to look a little bit darker, so I'm going to take a little darker color and just kind of dab it. Not much darker, obviously. Still yellow, I'm just gonna... So yeah, and because I do, like, if I go over my foundation, just I can start doing that under eye. I do it first just because it gives me an idea of what I'm doing. So I'm going to take...
So I'm going to take this like weird, I don't know any names, but this brush, this like weird looking one, I take the tip and I put it in the darker color. So I'm going to put it in this orangey color because I used yellow. And just kind of put where I expect my crease to be. Again, this can also be really, really messy. Doesn't have to be perfect yet. You're going to fix everything. You're going to go back. It's going to be fine. So just put it where you want the crease to be. I'm going to blend it a bit here just so that it looks better. Then I'm going to continue with this brush and just do like blend it a bit just to make it blend into the yellow. And you could continue doing this as long as until you like it. Go back in the yellow, go over it. just until you think it's enough. Color matching, color blending, you know, pretty much how you want. You know, everybody's drag is different, or makeup if you're doing makeup. Then you're just going to do the same to the other eye. So as you can see, this one's a little darker. There was a little bit of black on my brush, but that doesn't matter because like I said, you're going to go back and fix everything. So I can just add darkness to this color first. I forgot the corner of my eye here. Right. So after you do that and you blend it and you made it like the way you want it, you're going to take, I use my NYX's Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I'm really running low on this. I have more makeup coming in. I think it's coming in today, actually. So I use a lot of makeup, you know, more edge makeup. So I have a white one coming in because it's way better. It lasts a lot longer, so I just like those better. This little brush, and just dab this white, like, concealer on my hand. You could probably just put it on your eye, but I don't like doing that. So then you take it and you dip it in and you outline. So you start in this corner. In this corner, you're going to go, this is where you can't be messy really. So you're just going to go up where you like want that crease. And you're going to blend it. Kind of blend. You don't want the line to go all the way over, but you want to blend it over, if that makes sense. So you're just gonna keep it halfway and then just kind of blend it. Blend this corner a bit. You can use your finger. You don't have to be scared or anything. And you just go down. I like to do my little bottom too at this point. Just so it's easier. For the bottom, depending on how big I want my eye to look, like what kind of look I'm going for, I'll take my NYX's like jumbo pencil and I'll just kind of draw the line. So then I'll take my jumbo pencil and I'll just draw underneath the line. It definitely needs to be sharpened. I'm just kind of blending it. This brush is really aggressive, let me tell you. Alright, and then you do the same on the other side. So this is what it should look like by now. Again, still kind of looks messy. Still kind of looks like a disaster. Like me. So one of the biggest things that helped me is not to think of every step like it has to look perfect. So before, I used to think like every step had to look perfect or it was just going to end up looking bad at the end. That was wrong. And I think that's why I had such a hard time getting my makeup so good. Like it took me way longer than it should have to be able to do what I do now. Brush. Little eyeliner brush. Now take my edge, more whatever, black. It's like this. Lasts a really long time actually. So I'm gross and I lick my makeup, so you don't have to. You could have a cup of water, but I don't. So I just, what I start with is I like to go in the middle of my eye and just kind of map out where I want it. And then I'll go to the corner and go up, and then I'll connect them.
And then do this corner and connect them. I just color it in.
My makeup is not high quality. So my goal is to show you can do makeup without being rich. I don't like this line here, so I'm just gonna. Okay, so that's about even. So then I'll just Make sure it's all blended. I messed up here a little bit. So then I take the same brush, I wet it, and then I'm going to take this section and just kind of draw the line right above the white one. And then I'm going to take this with the same color I used, so the orange, and I'm going to blend. That wasn't very good. I'm not going to lie to you. So I just blend it. As you can see, it's not great, so I will go over it. You gotta do this awfully quick though, because you don't want it to dry. I use like like I said, I use like the liquidy stuff. You just kind of blend it. Blend. So you just blend. Oh yeah, and then another thing, so because I use liquid liner, I will go over it with the color. So I'm going to take this orange that I used, and I'm just going to dab it here, just so that if it does get anywhere, it's not going to like do anything, but it's going to set the makeup. Because every time you use like wet, you want to dry it so that it sets it, so that, you know, it doesn't mess up. So I just do that, and I just use the orange in case it gets on the white, it doesn't mess everything up. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this side. So yeah, and then I'm just going to take a white powder and just dab it here, because again I used wet, so I'm just going to set it with dry. It'll also set that black line there and blend it a little bit more. I just use this palette, and this really rusty, crusty palette. I've had this forever, but I just use this like light white color just to blend it so that it sets a little bit. Eyebrows. This is where I have the most struggle in my life. So I have this little eyebrow pencil. All my pencils are like gross because I put glue on them. I used to use Pros-Aide, so I'd stick it in and then like, not the smartest idea. So I'm going to take this nude palette that I should get a new one. And I'm just going to take this like light brown color and just kind of draw it. I don't really know how to teach this. Just draw a line to where I want it to end. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Then I'm going to connect here and connect it. And then the same here. And some alcohol. And put it in the little cup. So this tip Ivory Towers taught me. And I appreciate her to the bits because I would not have thought of this. She takes alcohol, you put alcohol in a little thing, and then you take it and you just dab your brush in it. And then you dab it. I'm going to dab it in a darker color. So like this like darker brown. You just kind of dab it until you get the color. And then you go over it and just kind of fill it in. And obviously, if you don't like I obviously am not probably going to keep that length. You can go around and fix it with a makeup wipe or anything. 2 eyebrows. They're there. They're not great, but they're there. After you do the eyebrows, this is where it becomes a mess. So I do the same thing. I don't know if Ivory does this, but this is what I do because of the wet thing. I do go over it with, it will dry, it'll look fine, but I do go over it just with like a light powder just to set it. So like I'll take the lighter color that I did and just kind of dab it just to set it a little bit more. So then I take the same brush I used for my white powder, my white underneath my eye and stuff. I'm going to take this pencil, I'm going to use it, and then I'm just going to go up here and fix anything I don't like about the brows, and just kind of lighten this area so that I can blend it into my makeup better. So just kind of go around the brow to like the end of the eye makeup. You can blend this out a little bit. Do the same to the other side. That's all. Okay. So from there, so that's like all the eye makeup besides the eyelashes, which I'm going to put on right now. It's pretty easy. Like I said, the biggest thing is don't worry about perfection, because that's what my biggest issue was. That's why I couldn't do a lot of things, because I was so worried about being perfect all the time that it just didn't like work out very well in my favor. So I'm going to take my lashes. These are also rusty and crusty because I've had the same lashes forever. It's a stack of 3. They're not very long. I have longer ones coming in. I'm just going to... I suggest, this is just me, if you're new at putting on lashes, my suggestion would be getting the white. Because you could buy 2 different types of... Well, you could probably buy more than 2 different types, but the only types I know or care about are that you could buy a black one, which is like, it's so that your eyeliner looks fine, or you can buy a white one that dries clear. My suggestion is, if you're new at putting lashes on, to buy the clear one, because the black one is messy. I have the clear one still because I don't like how sometimes I'll make a mess, or because I'm not very good at putting lashes on. So what you're going to do is you're going to put like I put like a thin layer of glue on it, and then you're going to blow on it so that it dries, because you don't want it, like, you want it sticky, and if you put it on while it's still fully wet, it just doesn't work. It just makes a mess. And so what I do when I put eyelashes on is I don't put it on, so like a lot of people put it on their lash line. As a drag queen, and I know a lot of people that do this, I put it in the corner, and then I will draw it out as far as I can so that there's a gap here, but you can't see it, but it makes your eyelashes look bigger. I just do that because I think if you like had big lashes, you could do that, but I don't. So that's what I'll do. I'll just kind of put them in the corner. And I'll show you what I mean. You can see it if you look up close. Like that. See, you can kind of see it. It's also not on my face properly, so don't judge right now. Now, if you're me, this is what I do for my drag. I really like doing this. You don't have to. I take these dollar store little gemmies, and I like to put them on the bottom of my eyes. Just because I like glitter and I like sparkles, and I'm literally an adult version of JoJo Siwa. So I'll take these gems and just add a little bit of lash glue, just because I know they're sticky, but they suck. And then I just put it on the bottom of my eye. Now if you want, which I also do sometimes, you can also use black liner and like outline the bottom. I just don't want to do that today because like it's a light color and I don't want to darken it too much. So I'm not going to do that. But if you want to, I will do another tutorial. If you guys like this tutorial, I'll do another one on my normal like everyday makeup. So now the stuff that you're going to realize I know nothing about: contouring. So I take this, it's really rusty palette. It's really bad. And I take this really like brown color that's almost gone. Just kind of go on this section. So you want it just under your cheekbone. And you want to start from here, which I don't know if that's what I did. Just so it's darker up here and less dark up here. Also, when you're doing this, if you're new and you want to try this, you can use a line. It makes the line a lot sharper. Here, I'll show you. I don't know if it's going to work because I already did it. It'll make the line a lot sharper. I'll do it on this side. It's what I used to do when I started. See, it makes a really sharp, crisp line. I just don't like blending it like that because, you know, I don't really have a reason. I just don't like blending it. So then I do like just like a triangle of the same brown powder. The same brown powder, just like around like where your wig would be. Just around. I don't know if this is how you you're supposed to do your forehead. And this is how I do it. Like I said, I know nothing about makeup. I'm sure there's going to be some Karens down there yelling at me saying you're doing everything wrong. Then I go around here for my jawline. Now normally I would have white translucent powder and like just dab it, and it's called baking. I would bake. But unfortunately I'm out of it right now. So I'm not going to bake. I'm just going to use like more highlight. But what you would do originally is I put it here and a little bit here, the nose, and up here. Just so that like all like the areas that are dark, they lighten better so you can blend it better. But I always do my blush before I bake just because then it lightens around the blush too. I use this other crusty palette thing. It's like, I have no name brands. I have like NYX, that's it. So I do put it on a really dark at first just because I like to blend it after. And then I bake for a bit. Again, I don't have baking stuff, so I'm not going to do that. And then you're just going to marry everything together. You're just going to blend it all together. And I always start with the neck because I wear breastplates, so I have to make sure it's really blended. I have to cut the neck a bit on my breastplate. But so there's this. Right? And then you're going to blend it. I blend in a circular motion. I don't know if that's a thing.
Blend up in your hairline. Again, beauty blenders work fine. You don't really need this weird looking nose thing. I just like the brush because I find it blends a lot better than anything else I know.
Also, if you're a drag queen watching this, it's fun to watch because I literally know nothing about makeup, so I just show you what I have. I'm not going to pull out some really expensive brand name things besides like NYX and the Morphe stuff I use, but like, and you like this video and you want me to make more of them, please let me know, because I know how intimidating it is to watch tutorials of people that know, like not know what they're talking about, because I kind of know, but you know what I mean, like just those people who are like, oh, this and this and this, and like use this expensive stuff and this, and then you're just sitting there like really confused. I hope that's not what happens in my video, but if you like these messy makeup tutorials, let me know. So I just kind of, I hate this part of my face. This is, I think, one of the things that if I was ever to change, I would change. I just don't like my nose. Like I'm never going to get a nose job, but I have a hard time blending it. It's so big. So I just kind of, you just want to use like do the corner of your nostril, like here, like where the bone is, and just kind of blend it. And then, like I said, I put the white powder, which I should have done this before, and then I blend it down. This is me getting not. So you can use the same brush you use and just blend downwards. Alright. Then I take this fun little brush and I put it in my highlight, which again I'm using this crusty palette. Guys, I don't have that much. I spent so much money on drag and you wouldn't even know it. So yeah, then I'm gonna just highlight my cheeks a little bit here and the tip of my nose. I'm gonna do a nude NYX. Again, NYX. This is actually my favorite color because you can overdraw, you can do whatever you want, it's amazing. So you're just gonna put a little bit on. I don't use a pencil. Like obviously you can, but I find that when I try to do that, I make it look worse. So I just do that, and that's how they overdraw. So that's how I do my makeup. It's not like super professional, it's not super annoying, but it's makeup. And I'll show you guys my finished look. It's not going to be glamorous this time, but I'll be right back. Alright. This is the final look. This wig is not properly styled because I still have to fix it, but This is my librarian look. Again, not a look I'm like used to, but I think it's cute. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, be sweet, not salty. Love you guys.